Could what you say at your doctor's appointments be secretly harming your health? It's a surprising truth that many older adults unknowingly use phrases that prevent them from getting the best care possible. A doctor's ability to help you depends on the information you provide, and if your words are unclear or misleading, it can have a bigger impact on your well-being than you think. In this guide, we'll explore 5 common communication habits that many seniors have adopted without realizing the negative effect they have. By understanding these pitfalls, you can not only safeguard your health, but also build a more open and trusting relationship with your doctor. The simple changes we'll discuss can transform how you handle your medical visits, helping you live a longer, healthier life with more confidence. If you find this information valuable, please consider subscribing so you don't miss out on more helpful tips. Let's begin. Number 1, saying, "I'm fine when you're not." One of the most common phrases seniors use at the doctor's office is, "I'm fine." It sounds polite, it sounds simple, and maybe it even feels like the right thing to say. But underneath it can be one of the most damaging habits. When you say, "I'm fine," even if you're dealing with pain, fatigue, or troubling symptoms, your doctor may take you at your word and move on. The result is missed opportunities for early detection, treatment, and real relief. This response often comes from psychology. Many older adults don't want to feel like a burden, or they fear being labeled as complainers. They grew up in a generation where toughness and silence were valued, and where health issues were often kept private. But carrying that mindset into medical appointments can backfire. Doctors are trained to listen for details, and when you hold them back, you strip them of the tools they need to help you. I once spoke with Martha, a 76-year-old woman who always told her physician she was fine. In truth, she was struggling with dizzy spells and shortness of breath. By the time she finally admitted what was happening, the condition had advanced further than it should have. Had she spoken openly sooner, her recovery would have been much easier. The ugly truth here is that saying, "I'm fine," might feel polite, but it can quietly rob you of years of good health. Being honest about what you feel is not complaining. It is protecting your life. And when you give your doctor the full picture, you give yourself the best chance at healing and thriving. Number 2, saying, "It's just old age." Another phrase that almost every senior slips into is, "It's just old age." Aches, pains, memory lapses, or changes in sleep get brushed off with those 4 words as though nothing can be done. But here is the harsh reality. Not every discomfort is simply aging. Sometimes it is your body sounding the alarm for conditions that can be treated or managed if caught in time. By blaming everything on age, you risk overlooking problems that could be eased, prevented, or even reversed. Psychology plays a strong role here. Many older adults fear hearing bad news, so they minimize symptoms by telling themselves, "It must be natural." Others grew up with parents who accepted suffering as part of getting older, so they carry the same belief. But doctors cannot challenge what you downplay. When you say, "It's just old age," you teach them to dismiss what could be a warning sign. Take Frank, a 72-year-old man who told his doctor his chest discomfort was probably just age catching up. He ignored it until one day the pain grew unbearable. Tests revealed heart disease that could have been treated earlier with far less risk. That delay cost him months of recovery and left him weaker than before. The ugly truth is that brushing off symptoms with "it's just old age" doesn't make you tough. It makes you vulnerable. A doctor's job is not to judge you for growing older. It is to separate what is normal from what is dangerous. Give them the chance to do that by describing what you feel, even if you think it might be nothing. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 3, saying, "I don't want to bother you." Far too many seniors enter the exam room with an apologetic tone, saying things like, "I don't want to bother you," or "I know you're busy." While it may sound humble, this habit undermines your own care. Doctors are there for one reason: to help you. When you downplay your needs, you unintentionally give the impression that your issues are minor, even when they may not be. Over time, this leads to rushed visits, overlooked details, and untreated problems. The root of this response often comes from a lifetime of valuing other people's time over your own. Many older adults were raised to respect authority figures, to be courteous, and to never take up too much space. But in the medical setting, that same politeness can become harmful. When you treat your health as less important, others may follow your lead. I remember George, a 6'9" man who always told his doctor he didn't want to bother him. He skipped over his sleep problems and constant leg cramps. Months later, he ended up in the emergency room with a blood clot that could have been managed earlier. His hesitation to speak up had real consequences. The ugly truth is that by trying not to bother your doctor, you may be robbing yourself of answers and solutions that could change your life. Your health is never an inconvenience. It deserves time, attention, and honest conversation. And when you claim that space, you give your doctor the chance to do their best work for you. Number 4, saying, "You're the doctor, you decide." Another phrase that may seem respectful but is quietly dangerous is, "You're the doctor, you decide." On the surface, it sounds like trust. In reality, it strips you of your voice in the most important decisions about your body. Doctors have knowledge, but you are the one living with the outcomes of the choices. When you hand over full control, you risk treatments that may not fit your values, your lifestyle, or your comfort. Psychology shows us why this happens. Many seniors grew up in an era when doctors were seen as unquestionable authorities. To challenge or even ask questions felt rude. But medicine today works best when it is a partnership. Your input matters, your concerns matter, and your preferences matter. Without them, even the most skilled doctor cannot give you care that truly supports your life. Consider Ruth, an 81-year-old woman who told her physician, "You're the doctor, you decide." She was prescribed a medication that caused side effects she could barely manage. Later, she admitted she never mentioned her worries because she didn't want to seem difficult. Once she began sharing her thoughts openly, her care improved dramatically, and she finally felt heard. The ugly truth here is that doctors are guides, not dictators. They bring expertise, but you bring lived experience. When you step into the conversation and share your perspective, you build a plan that honors both. Silence may feel polite, but participation is what truly protects your health. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Number 5, saying, "It's nothing, forget it." Perhaps the most harmful phrase of all is, "It's nothing, forget it." Seniors often use this line when they feel embarrassed, when they think their concern is too small, or when they worry about sounding foolish. But dismissing your own symptoms can have life-changing consequences. What feels minor today may be the clue that prevents something far more serious tomorrow. From a psychological standpoint, this habit is rooted in self-protection. By brushing off worries, you avoid the fear of bad news. It also ties to pride, because admitting to a problem may feel like admitting weakness. But the cost of this defense is high. Doctors can only work with what they hear, and when you shut down a topic with "forget it," you close the door on answers you may desperately need. Take the story of Leonard, a 75-year-old man who noticed bleeding gums but quickly told his dentist, "It's nothing, forget it." Months later, he was diagnosed with advanced gum disease that had begun to affect his overall health. If he had voiced his concern earlier, treatment would have been simple and far less painful. The ugly truth is that no symptom is too small to mention. Your body speaks through these signals, and ignoring them doesn't make them go away. By refusing to minimize your experiences, you take charge of your well-being. What you share may be the very key to preserving your strength, independence, and quality of life in the years ahead. As a final thought from Timeless Wisdom, consider what stood out to you most from this list. Did you recognize any of these common phrases in your own conversations with a doctor? The way we communicate about our health truly matters more than we realize. By avoiding these 5 mistakes, you can give yourself a more powerful voice and a better chance of getting the care you deserve. Remember, your doctor's role is not just to treat symptoms, but to understand you as a complete person. When you speak openly and directly without downplaying your concerns, you create a partnership that can lead to better health, a longer life, and greater independence. Your concerns are not a bother, and your questions are not silly. They are essential. Thank you for being here today. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Please share one thing you learned and how you plan to apply it. Your feedback is important and helps us continue to create helpful content. If this video was useful to you, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us inform and inspire others. We appreciate you watching and look forward to seeing you in the next video.